You're here. I'm here. How are you feeling?
Better than the chemist.
Medication is.
I'm glad you feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can make it through your presentation at lunch. You probably would have preferred to stay home. Good morning.
I know you said you're going to do you get an opportunity to comment. Okay. Yeah, it is. Feels like throwing me off, sir. Yeah, this is normal. How are you guys going to do it?
I think that's totally.
Okay, I just need to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
All right.
That's great.
That's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Bill Holden. I'm a former member of the United States Army and Air Force. A man of few words, so something not too
You don't want to
Ron, can you pass this? Oh no, don't pass me those.
smart.
He's gonna need those.
Yeah.
I'll go with the other side of the dais.
Oh, Dave Smith, yeah. Smith.
Okay. I don't think I have lights on. It seems dark up here. Isn't it? Yeah, it looks like it, but it does seem dark. Well, good morning, everyone. I will call to order the public meeting, Arapahoe County public meeting today, January 14th, 2020. And to my left is Ron Carl, County Attorney. And to my right is not Jolene Sanchez. So, yeah, Gail Stumpo. So, Gail, would you please call the roll of the
Commissioner Conti?
Good morning.
Commissioner Jackson?
Here.
Commissioner Baker?
Here.
Commissioner Holland?
Here.
And Commissioner Sharp.
Here. Thank you, Gail. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Mr. Carl, are there any modifications to the agenda this morning?
There are no modifications.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Holland, seconded by Commissioner Conti. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. This is the time in our meeting where we entertain citizen comments. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the board at this time? Okay, seeing no one, we will move on to the reason that everyone is here, which is our ceremony. And I'm going to recognize the retirement of Janet Kennedy, our finance director, after 21 years of very dedicated service. So I'm asking Commissioner Jackson to read the resolution.
Thank you. As a prologue to the resolution, I just want to say a few words. And I wanted to mention that money or finance is the lifeblood of any organization, as we all know. And as chief medical, or if it's the lifeblood, medical, or finance officer, Janet, you have helped the county through ups and downs, through sickness and health, till retirement doth us part. Thank you very much for your wise stewardship, your leadership, diplomacy, and diligence. You handled multi-million-dollar transactions with care and seeming ease. Although you leave a capable and bright staff behind you, we are really going to miss you. So with that, I will read the resolution. Whereas after 21 years of dedicated service, Janet Kennedy will retire from Arapahoe County on January 17th, 2020, and whereas during Janet's tenure, including 16 years as finance director, she shepherded important countywide initiatives, including implementing a new SAP financial system, taking Arapahoe County from a DOS-based green screen system to a state-of-the-art system with built-in internal controls, automated workflows, and real-time reports. She has issued countywide purchasing cards to make small purchases more efficient with online documentation, organizing the county's first audit committee, updating financial policies and procedures to reflect 21st century best practices, implementing a new payroll and human capital management system, transitioning the county from a monthly exception-based paper timesheet-based system that required hand-calculated overtime to biweekly online timesheets with automated workflows and overtime calculations, and researching capital and operating needs for functional jail and courthouse, developing a debt structure and operating cash flow, resulting in a recommended mill levy ask for Initiative 1A. And whereas throughout Janet's career, she issued $136 million in debt for the construction of the Arapahoe County Fairgrounds, the purchase of water rights and other capital assets for the Arapahoe County Wastewater Public Improvement District, land purchases for the Arapahoe County Recreation District, county facilities at Lima Plaza, and the District Attorney's Office, and a cost savings energy performance contract, as well as refunded $225 million in debt, saving Arapahoe County millions of dollars of interest across issuances. And whereas Janet collaborated with offices and departments to improve financial operations, including administering more than $44 million in Homeland Security grants for the 250 agency North Central region, contacting every county retail merchant to implement the new Open Spaces sales tax and compliance program, and transitioning the Treasurer's Office from a paper record system into SAP. And whereas as finance director, Janet facilitated a $400 million structurally balanced budget, keeping fund balances above policy reserves, implementing 58 new government accounting standards board pronouncements, and earning Arapahoe County clean audit opinions as well as a AA+ bond rating through multiple recessions without the need for any budgetary layoffs. And only 6 more pages, guys. We're good. Whereas under her leadership, the finance department established a culture of continuous improvement, developing an award-winning purchasing division and securing the Distinguished Government Financing Officers Association Award for the annual budgets and financial statements for 16 years, continuing the county's 33-year-old tradition of consecutive awards going. And whereas Janet has served 18 commissioners, 5 county clerks, 4 sheriffs and assessors, 3 treasurers, and 2 coroners with integrity and expertise, and whereas Janet is well respected throughout the region as a tireless public servant committed to providing unbiased guidance, unparalleled knowledge, a collaborative spirit, and customer-focused attitude in all interactions. And whereas Janet is looking forward to relaxing, spending more time with family and friends, taking in shows, traveling, and becoming more involved in the community. And whereas Janet's presence will be truly missed by many employees, peers, and colleagues throughout the state, Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Arapahoe County to officially recognize the contributions of Janet Kennedy as a valued employee of Arapahoe County, and hereby declare her future shall prosper as Arapahoe County has under her dedication and service.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Conklin. Before we vote, comments. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know, having worked for facilities for so long, that in regards to the GFOA awards that have been won, is that facilities is still trying to find more wall space for all the little plaques up there. Because pretty soon that wall is, I think that may be a load-bearing wall, and it may need a little bit more support. But I just want to say, Janet, from starting out with 17 Mile House project in 2004, and even before that with Human Services, my interactions with you have always been filled with a lot of progress. We've done a lot of things. We've had fun doing it. And you'll be greatly missed by everyone here. And so, congratulations, but we're going to miss you.
Well, we're all going to miss you, Janet, your smiling face and your sense of humor in spite of being on a ship that's sinking. I'm speaking in financials. Your job is strike that from the record. My point is that a financial director is one of the most difficult jobs that anybody can have in this organization. I've always thought about squeezing blood from a turnip, but I never understood how difficult that can be. And you've done a marvelous job in facing limited resources and keeping this boat afloat. To go back to the analogy, I am so impressed with the quality of your leadership, the mentorship that you provide your staff, and I'm confident that in spite of your departure, you'll leave a ship that's fully stocked and plenty of fuel. I am going to really truly miss you, Janet, because you were always, in spite of the financial crises that we've faced over the years, you've always come up with an ability to maintain a study course for this county, and your ability to maintain a strong leadership within your department and face these crises with a credible and achievable plan. So thank you very much, and I think the ship will not sink on your departure.
Commissioner Conti.
Thank you. Well, Janet, I just wanted to say that you were one of the most welcoming and educational faces that greeted me when I came into the county, and you were so gracious in that. I'm reminded of a book that I was given that talked about the perspective of the staff member who thought, here comes another one, elected official. Oh gosh, how do we have to deal with this? And the fact that most of our staff will be here for vastly longer than most of our electeds. I thank you for your graciousness in spite of that. And you couldn't have been more educational, understanding, and just a true friend. So please know that one grateful heart will miss you greatly. Thank you. And enjoy the next chapter.
And I will add I think you've had just an outstanding career here at Arapahoe County, and I know we all thank you, and I know that our citizens being in good financial, not a sinking ship, good financial shape is really important to our citizens, and to have confidence. And you bring, you've always had tremendous professionalism, and I think your reputation is nothing but one of the highest level of integrity. And I think that's important in everyone, but particularly in the financial area. And we use taxpayer dollars and hard-earned dollars for people all across our county, and so it means a lot. So thank you very much. And again, you've been a wonderful person for me personally to work with, and really enjoyed our relationship here, and wish you only the very best. And send us pictures of all the great things that you're doing, but not too often, because then we'll be really jealous. But anyway, good luck to you, and thank you for everything. So I'm going to entertain. We have a motion and a second. So all in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
There's no one that's going to be opposed, except we don't want you to leave. But Todd, you have some comments you wanted to make.
Thank you, Board. I'm going to pull out some notes because this is this will probably be the first time that the Board had more facts and figures than somebody from Finance did before you did. But thank you for the opportunity to make some comments about Janet on her retirement. It's a bittersweet moment for a lot of us in the Finance Department. Next Tuesday will be a historic day for the Finance Department because it'll be the first time in over 2 decades that Janet won't be coming to work as a member of the Finance Department team. And that's, as I said, a very bittersweet moment for many of us. When you work together with people for any length of time, you build a working relationship through shared work projects, experiences, completing tasks and challenges you face over the various days and weeks and years. You celebrate each other's successes, you commiserate over struggles, you cooperate, you collaborate, you laugh, you gripe and complain, but not too much. Well, maybe. You begin to learn other people's strengths and shortcomings. You know when you can have direct and honest conversations with folks. And you also know when a more tactful approach is needed, such as politely telling your budget manager to be quiet so that we can complete the rest of the manager's meeting agenda. I don't know how that got in there. But I don't think that's true. Over time, these relationships sometimes grow and go beyond work to include sharing stories about families, friends, travels, hardships. These relationships eventually develop into friendships. For a number of us with long tenures of the Finance Department, especially folks like John Rywich and Keith Ashby and myself, who have been here for a very long time, I believe it's safe to say that Janet has become our friend, and hopefully we hers. For us next Tuesday, it'll be a bit harder to get out of bed and come to work, knowing that there will be one less friend here to share our experiences with. For Janet, on the other hand, we imagine she will sleep in and then, sipping on her tea while gazing out at the mountains, blissfully contemplate all the fun activities and adventures she will be having with her friends and her family in her retirement. She can feel satisfied that through her hard work, knowledge, dedication, integrity, and leadership, that many of the accomplishments that were in the resolution before you this morning have made Arapahoe County a better place now in 2020, and for the Finance Department and the skilled and dedicated staff that will remain, better off than when she walked through those doors in 1998. And for that, on behalf of the Finance Department, we say thank you. You will be missed, and enjoy your retirement. Thank you.
Janet, would you like to? Uh-oh.
Sure. You know, you plan your retirement almost from when you start working, and then when it happens, it's a surprise. So I'll have to say I didn't prepare anything, but I do want to say thank you. Those were really wonderful, kind words. I've enjoyed working with you all these years. I can honestly say I think this is the best board I ever worked with. So thank you. I will be thinking about you at Executive Budget Committee time the first week of September. I'll make sure I'm doing something really fun and send you a picture. You can sit in 3 days worth of email. Yeah, I'll make them big. So thank you. And thanking my staff for, all the success. No one person does it. It's you guys. And I'm leaving you with just a tremendous group of people. It's really a tremendous team. Highly skilled, wonderful. And I'll miss all of you, but I think I'm going to have some fun too. So thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Whew. Okay. Hard to move on after that with the regular agenda, but we'll go quickly. Entertain a motion for approval of the minutes. I was absent and excused that day, so.
I move to approve the minutes of December 17th, 2019.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Baker, seconded by Commissioner Holan. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And I will abstain, and thank you. Motion passes. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the consent agenda as presented.
I so move.
What?
I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Holan, seconded by Commissioner Conti. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. We have no general business items today. Are there any commissioner comments? Commissioner Holan and then Commissioner Jackson.
Thank you. On Monday of next week, we'll be celebrating the life of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. His presence in the history of this country is extremely notable. His courage, commitment to the restoration of civil rights to a minority community is legendary. He was a man of peace, winning the Nobel Peace Prize in 1967, I believe. A man who organized a nonviolent movement that embraced and that did not embrace hate but embraced love. His legacy is being remembered all this week by the city of Aurora, and on Monday the parade from downtown honoring his legacy. His work is not over. We've seen over the last several years an increase in hate crimes, anti-Semitic and racial crimes that have focused only on one thing, and that is your religion and the color of your skin. The only way we're really going to ultimately address that and fulfill his great legacy that amounted to a statement that I'll always forget is that when he spoke at the Washington Monument saying, I hope someday that people will be judged not by the color of their skin, by the content of their character. And it's up to each and every one of us to work for that goal. As he so eloquently said, darkness cannot drive out, hate cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. And I hope we all embrace those comments and seek to when we see discrimination to step up and point it out. When we make mistakes in terms of how we approach other people, that we remember those comments. Love is really the only answer to achieve racial equality and end the blight of hatred across this country. Thank you.
Commissioner Jackson.
Thank you. I too was going to just mention Martin Luther King Day on Monday. Bill said a lot, so I won't go into extolling the amazing qualities of Dr. Martin Luther King, but I do want to point out two things. One is leadership, and the other is action. And you don't have to be anybody special to be a leader. You just step up when you see that something needs to be done. And that's the other piece, is that we need to do stuff. We don't all the wonderful speeches. He was an amazing speaker, and what he did with those speeches is lead people to action. And we're just not going to get anywhere. Change doesn't happen by sitting still. So I hope that you all do something Martin Luther King Day besides enjoy your day off. But it doesn't matter if you march, if you do some contribution to a good cause, if you take care of somebody, it doesn't matter. But do something to celebrate this historical person and the things that he stood for.
Commissioner Conti.
Thank you. One of the things that I so appreciated, not only his words about judging people by the content of their character and not the color of their skin, but his commitment to nonviolent protest, peaceful protest. I think there was such power in that. When people are sitting there, being respectful, being yet recognizing the strength of their convictions, I think it makes a very powerful statement. And one that we should remember even to this day. So I too absolutely acknowledge and am appreciative of a day to remember Dr. Martin Luther King. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other comments, the meeting is adjourned. Picture out here. Sorry.